Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation.
Hello, my name is Quan Mitchell. I'm the head band director at Evan E. Worthing Early College High School. We've been cordially invited to the National 4th of July Parade in Washington, D.C., July 4th, 2023. Our goal is to raise $200,000 so that we can send our students to Washington, D.C. While traveling to Washington, D.C., our students plan on attending the African American Smithsonian Institute, Howard, Hampton, and Norfolk State University. We're accepting all forms of monetary donation. To donate to this specific endeavor, please donate directly to our PTA association, and in your memo section, please put Marching Pride of Sunnyside. We'd like to thank all of the donors that have contributed to our program thus far, and we'd like to thank all sponsors and contributors for donating to our From Worthing to Washington campaign.
All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Maya, hey.
Hi.
You look so enthused.
Yeah. I'm coming off today has been a true catch-up day, and I'm not caught up, so it's been stressful.
It's been one of those days.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of those days.
Those catch-ups after you've been off of work for days and days and days.
Got you. Smits. I hit the wrong button. Anyway. Hey, Portia.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. I ain't gonna try to get you to talk too much. Just whisper.
It's
Give
just
us a light
disrespectful. It's disrespectful, and I don't know what's going on. And I don't think that people want to hear this for 2 hours.
You don't even sound that bad. You putting a lot on it. It'd be different if you was in a hey yo, how y'all doing? But that's not what you sound like. You just sound like you got a little frog in your voice, and it's all good. It ain't that bad. Come on now.
Okay.
Give me credit.
Okay. I just didn't want it to be like, why we got to listen to her sounding like.
All right. Well, look at here. Let's do this like we always do it. Anything happening in your world, music, band, or life-wise, unload on us, Maya. Tell us about your day. We here for you. No.
I'm trying to think about what happened today. It was just a lot of emails, a lot of correspondence. Oh, don't you know somebody had the audacity to put a 4:30 meeting on my calendar?
Well, 4:30, not a 4:30.
And guess what? The same. I can't call them what I want to call them, Lord. The same one had the double audacity to be like, oh, I got school pickup. I got to drop early. What? After you done coordinated and conjugated, put all this stuff together, you gonna have a nerve to say, "Oh, I gotta leave for child leave."
So,
needless to say, that's
so you went to the meeting, though, right?
I logged into it.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, I mean, hey,
very much camera off, mute on.
Camera off, mute on. You not even there.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Okay. You took a picture of yourself and just put it there, like you was there, like you was really there?
No, it had my name. Where you see my face, it would just say my name.
Got you. Okay. All right. Well, you had a fun-filled afternoon, evening, weekend, whatever you want to day.
Yikes.
Okay. Well,
it wasn't fun by no means, but we here.
Portia, what about you? I gotta adjust my screen. Somebody been messing with. I'm saying somebody been messing with my screen like it wasn't me. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Portia.
I think I had a pretty good day. I've been trying to drink tea like all day to try to fix this, and it's not working.
Just do this.
But
there you go, and then just cough up the phlegm.
It's not phlegm. I've tried all of that. I didn't use some of everything, and it's just, I guess my vocal cords are irritated. I don't know.
I know what it is, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. But go ahead. I know what it is.
What do you think it is? Tell me.
You was yelling at them damn probates. Mm-hmm. You was yelling at them trying to get them right.
No, I was not.
That's what you was doing.
No. So now it's sneezing and all that other stuff coming with it. But the pollen is out here. So I don't know about anywhere else, but it's the attack of the pollen, I think.
We ain't hit that pollen daddy out here. At least I haven't. So
not yet. Oh, no, I ain't touching here in Virginia, she out on these cars and floating in the air, and it's disrespectful because it's the beginning of March.
Yeah, that ain't us. So I guess we kind of rolling. We good. Hey, Maya, we good with that pollen right now. We good for now. Y'all keep that in VA.
It's ridiculous. It's too early.
Well, I guess I got to be the one who bears the good news. So first of all, I do want to say, and I just got this information. I want to say maybe about 10-20 minutes ago. So I want to send a big congratulations to my little brother. Well, I call him my little brother, Michael Cofield. He just got straight ones in festival. So I am super excited to hear that. So you know, we're in festival season in Texas. We call that UIL season, concert and sight reading. And so everybody is gearing up to get ready to, you know, step in front of those judges and show what their babies have been learning for, I guess, well, they should be the whole year, but at least for a semester. So, but no, I'm super happy and super proud to hear that. So I gave him all of his kudos. I know that Quan goes to festival in April. So I'm very excited to be able to support him in that and support everybody who's doing it, man. I mean, I know that being in this seat is a stressful time. Wanting to make sure that your babies are doing the right things, that you're disseminating the right information, and that, you know, you're following all the curriculum that's on that sheet, this huge long sheet that they give you about the things that they're looking for, and you're just being a good educator at the end of the day. And so, you know, that is where we're measured. That is our standardized test as a music educator. And so once again, hats off to him and hats off to everybody who has already been to adjudication and received your score. So I did want to say that. All right. I mean, and there are some other things that have been happening in band and all that kind of stuff. I think I saw Jackson State's marching band with doing a performance at Edna Carr. So there's a couple of things that I have been seeing, so I don't want to disregard any of those, but and then I also saw what's my man's name, what's his name, I can't even think about it. But he did another parody on Coach Prime and the band, but it's just, you know, even though we are coming out of the Mardi Gras season and it's Mardi Gras time, I don't necessarily want to call it a season, and you know, band is kind of winding down now. There's still some things going on, and for me, I'm getting excited because now we're getting into drum corps territory, so I'm super excited about that. All right, yes ma'am.
That hat you got on, that's like exclusive.
How is this exclusive?
I ain't never seen that one before.
This was 09, 10. It was one of them.
Oh,
it was the last year that I was like completely with the Legion before I went to St. Croix. So that was either 09 or 10. It was one of those.
I didn't even know. Seen that hat before.
And I'm gonna be very, very honest that I didn't get this hat off the fact that, I was working with the band because I was still doing the announcing thing back then. I got this hat because Camille was working with and around the band, so she slid me the hat daddy. And then she got some of them extra tote bag daddies too, but we done ran through them joints though. So and I think one is missing too. I don't know how that happened, but my bad. But yeah, and it's crisp. So I don't even rock this that much. Because my kids didn't wore my other ones out because I got a black one. My black one's up there too, but they be wearing that all the time. So it's flimsy now. But this one still got a little shape to it. Yeah. So yeah, that's where it came from. All right. Let's get this show on the road today. I have not spoken to Quan at all. So, and as soon as I say that, he pops in. I don't know. He turned his camera on and he turned it off. I don't know if he's ready to go. He might be hitting the snack daddy. So we'll bring him in. Yeah, 1 minute. All right. So let's go ahead and get the show started today, man. Today, I really, really, really want to start having segments where we give people their flowers, specifically those people who are still alive. One of the things that I cannot stand sometimes is that we admonish people when they pass on, but we don't give them the same accolades as they should, or as we should, when they are still here with us and still doing great things. And so I wanted to, when we had the episode with Dr. Sanford, that was the inspiration for wanting to push this forward. And I couldn't think of anybody more deserving of having this conversation with and letting us hear their story, other than the person who, as Dr. Sanford would say back in the day, I recruited you. So she is the one who recruited me. She walked into Willow Ridge High School actually in 2000. And I saw the Norfolk DVD. Well, it wasn't a DVD then. I'm sorry. The Norfolk VHS that was produced by Geek Steve. And I was thoroughly impressed. That was, for those people who don't know much of Legion history, that was the first time that I had ever heard them play Shaft, and that was the Shaft that they played at A&T when the lights cut off, and that was the dopest thing I had ever seen when it came to band. And trust me when I tell you, I watched a lot of band back then. But that was my inspiration. That was the start of my inspiration for wanting to go to Norfolk State. And it was definitely because of this person. And when I got there, she's always been welcoming, always been inviting. She has always been somebody who was going to motivate you, whether she says it in a nice way or whether she says it some other type of way. But she is going to motivate you, and I've always loved her and appreciated her. Every time I talk to my mom and I say, I talked to them people from Norfolk, I talked to my band directors. Oh, you talked to Miss Sanders? Yes, I did. She always asks about her, but she has an amazing story, and I want everybody today who's watching to be able to hear her story. So let me do this because I want to give her her own time. So let me bring in Quan first. Are you good now? You okay? So let me bring him in because I want her to come in on her own. If I had some fanfare and stuff like that, I ain't got nothing to bring her in like that. But without further ado, let us go ahead and bring in the person of the hour, Miss Stephanie Sanders.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
How y'all doing?
We are absolutely good. At least I'm good. I don't know how everybody else doing. Maya had a bad day. Portia sound like a frog. Quan just coming in late. I don't know what's going on with everybody.
That's all right. Any day above the ground is always a good day.
Look at
so y'all made roll call. So y'all good. Y'all good.
Yeah. You better preach. You better preach.
Y'all good.
All right. So I first of all want to kick this off, Miss Sanders. First of all, I actually want to say thank you for doing this. I know I talked to you last week. But I know that you were busy, and this week was an opportune time. So yeah, I'm glad that you joined.
We were competing for with Marcellus, so we got that spot. So that's what we were doing last week.
Right. And I want you to kind of go into that. Not right now. But what I want to do and start it off right out the gate, I do have a question for you. And tell us about you. Like, what was your inspiration for wanting to do the job that you're doing and being in it for so long?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was in school, I did not want to teach. I just wanted to perform. Now I'm just telling you the truth. And I took Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams I had him for to get ready the semester before you do your student teaching. And I said, oh no. I took his class. I said, oh hell no. I am not gonna teach. I'm just gonna perform. And Mr. Adams said, oh, you gonna teach and you gonna love it. And then what SpongeBob, 30 years later, you're still doing, still doing this thing. So that's what it was. But honestly, I really didn't want to at first. But I started, I had a great student observation and had a fabulous student teaching situation when I was in undergrad. And then that just spurred everything for me to start teaching. And when I was in grad school, after I got out of grad school, I taught high school. Taught high school for 4 years, and then I taught at Prairie View for 2 or 3 years. Taught jazz band, and that's why it's so beautiful. Because when Rick got the job, Rick said, "Miss Sanders, I need some music. Come on, raid my closet. Come on, get what you need to get. Come on, make it work, baby. Make it work, and just make us proud." So that's what I did, and then I was kind of ready to get out of the high school situation and do college full time. And then that's when I got the job at Alcorn. I did that for 3 years. I loved that. It was a culture shock, but it was a good thing. And then Mr. Adams, with his mysterious ways, he says, I want you to look at a city. And I said, what city is that? Norfolk, Virginia. And then he hung up the phone. I said, what the hell? And then a year later, this is what's so crazy. A year later, he calls me, Stephanie, I want you to interview for a job. And I was like, I got a job. He said, just come on up. You need to build your skills up with interviewing, and you should. I tell everybody, even if you don't want the job, hell, if they flying you to the job, go to the city. Just have a vacation and do it. Now, if the package is presenting of itself, then that's when you make that decision. And so I came on up, and the interview was good. And then I said, oh, I ain't got no money. I can't go. And then Dr. Sanford overnighted me that check and said, here your moving expenses. And then 23 years later, we are here at Norfolk State University.
I will say that is one interesting story because I'll tell you this, and the only way that I even found out that you were at Alcorn was because one of the guy that I came in with when I was playing trumpet, Jason Lamar, he told me, he was like, oh, you up there with Miss Sanders? And then I was like, how do you know Miss? He was like, she was here with me. And I was like, oh wow. So but it's super interesting just to hear that story and that you've been to so many places, because one of the things that I know that I've in the profession I've always heard is, well, you shouldn't go from place to place to place. But sometimes what I've also realized is that going to place has prepared you for the next place. And I think that sometimes we kind of chop ourselves off by trying to stay in one place when we get the first gig so many times. So do you feel like the places that you were previously prepared you for your next place?
Look, I'm going to tell you, this was true divine intervention, first of all. I do believe in the Lord. Okay. Next thing, I wasn't praying to be moving around. Because, I was about to be with you at Willow Ridge. But back then, in the school districts, you couldn't change school districts if you just signed the contract. So that's the reason why I was at MacArthur. Mr. Thornton was 1 week off. Isn't that crazy? I would have been with you. That's the honest truth. So I was at MacArthur. I love MacArthur. It was a good experience, and I love doing that. And then Jan Taylor, from the choir director at Prairie View, and I taught her son. I taught her son privately, and so she said, "There's a job opening here at Prairie View." I said, "Oh, really?" And she said, "You could teach jazz." I said, "Oh, that's up my alley." And she said, "You could just do it. You could do it 2 nights a week." I said, "Okay, I'll be adjunct professor," and that's how that started with the college bug. And after doing that, I loved it. At the time, Prairie View just didn't have the money to do me full time, and that's okay, because I was doing it and I was loving that. Then, of course, Divine Intervention came, and then my aunt said Alcorn was open. Now, I had looked at Alcorn because Alcorn is our opponent, just like Hampton and Norfolk State is, and like A&T, and Norfolk State is. Yeah, it was like that, and I was like, okay. And because we used to talk about Alcorn down. But then I interviewed, and I said, you know what, I would like to try this, And the interview went great, crazy, but it went great. And I drove home. I said, oh, Lord, I don't know if I can go back to the country. Because after I left Jackson, I said, I am never going back to the country again. And, you never say what you will and what you won't do. And so, honey, I did that and had the best time. Those 3 years were fun. And, Lord, the band was so damn huge. We had 325 people in the band. So that was just a wonderful thing. And then, we could waive out-of-state fees, so we got monies. So we had monies to give. And so we had a lovely band. And it was so funny because when we left, I think that was the beginning of fifth quarter. Y'all remember the fifth quarter. So folks was telling folks we were leaving. I said, how the hell they know? We ain't said nothing, but y'all got ears and mouths. The walls got ears. And so that's what they put it on there, and they showed me, the kids showed me the post. Oh, Miss Sanders, you leaving. You and Mr. Adams are leaving. Y'all going to Norfolk. We don't know what that is, but y'all going to Norfolk. I said, how the hell? I ain't said nothing to nobody. And I'm going to tell you this. I left the day before Alcorn's band camp to come to Norfolk. And my boss told me, he says, look, if them niggas don't treat you right, you can come back and get your job. Now, you can't have a better situation than that to your boss to do that. And I love Samuel Griffin to this day for that, because he's been a wonderful mentor, friend, and colleague. And so those were the best 3 years of my life. Mr. Adams attributed for me coming up here, because he is the reason why I came up here. Because he said, you have no family here. He says, I'll be your family till you get yourself established. And that's how that went. A lot of people don't know the stories because I don't say everything. I do my job well, and I want you all to flourish because you make us look good. And I know when I've done my job, I don't have to get out in the front and flaunt anything, because when y'all look good, they're gonna always ask, who's the band director? Ha ha, here you go. So that's how it works. The proof is in the pudding.
Absolutely. So does anybody have a question before I ask my next one?
I don't really have a question. I just got a statement. So glad you left Alcorn.
Smiths. I can't hear you, Quan. You may be Smitty on the audio. Are you muted? Nope. Yeah, go out and come back in. There we go. Well, let me ask you.
Experience being at Norfolk. I'll say that. And Portia, I loved it. And I have to say this, every job that I've had has always been bigger and better than the last. Second thing, I haven't burned any bridges everywhere I've gone. So if I need to go back, I can go back. You know how some people say, F this job and do what they need to do and go on. Nah, baby, if I need to go back, I can go back. It's got to be something big and better. And if it ain't big and better, leave it alone. Okay, I can hear you, Quan.
Okay. Yeah. So this is my first time meet. I know we had a phone conversation before about a previous student. I was trying to get up there. But I guess I'm curious as an African American woman, how has that been in a male dominated I guess band world, like for you? Because I mean, like you said, the proof is in the pudding, but how has that been for you?
In certain situations, I'll give you a couple examples. First, we played Southern. That's when I was teaching at Alcorn. And of course, they had just that year incorporated women in the band program. So you still male dominated, male, just it's almost just true chauvinist situation. And Isaac Greggs shook my hand because we knew him, but the other assistants didn't even, that kind of hurt my feelings. You still got in 2023, you still have men who think chauvinist, but you forget you came out of a woman's vagina, okay? You forget that you primarily were taught by women in your upbringing. It's very rare that you have men in the classroom. You got more now. But I'm just saying, people forget once they came. And people always still think that, and it happens. It's happened situations even here. I remember one time I took the band to Villanova for the jazz festival. And the guy that was driving the bus, he talks to somebody else thinking that he the band director. I said, excuse me, sir. I put the order in for you to drive us to this festival. Now, if you have a problem, we need to get a new bus driver tomorrow. That's just little things. Or you have people come, I want to speak to the band director. Okay, you talking to her? No, I want to speak to the band director. I'm looking at you. You still have those kind of isms. I call them isms. And you just have people who are not open to the acceptance of women doing well. You have women excelling well just like you have men excelling well. And you just have to be open for that. But we still have men, Quan, and we got some women that feel that way too. I hate to say that think that they can't do the particular job. And I even say that for college positions. For college, they got that woman band director. What is that supposed to do? What does that mean? Are we sensitive, quote unquote? You think they think of every idea of that. But I still face that same situation in certain instances. It's getting better. I love that during COVID, we formulated the Association of Black Women Band Directors now. And I wish I had that support system when I was in school, because when we would go to Midwest, it would be 3 or 4 of us total out of hundreds and thousands of band directors across the country. Now you've got an association of women who can support each other, talk to each other. We all have some, common problems on every level, from elementary up through being retired. So, yeah, I still get the problems, but not as often. Not as often.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What was, and I guess I've always wanted to know this. What was it like being a part of the Dream Team? And what I would say, and this is just me personally, what I would say is the golden era of the Legion. Because I mean, and this is as a Legion member, let me please put it out there. I am not disregarding the Legion that came before me, but I've always felt like, and I guess it's because of social media and things like that, that the Legion gained more accolades during the 2000 and that 2000 era, 2009, so on and so forth. So what was it like being a part of that particular group, the Dream Team?
I would say, honestly, during that time, you didn't have a band staff of everyone and every facet of band being covered. Think about it. You got a woodwind person. Because when I came, all I did was woodwinds. That was my thing. Woodwinds and music rehearsal. You know that. I got that down. Okay. You got a high brass person. You got a low brass person. You got a charter. You got an arranger. We all had our own intricate things, but we all worked well together, first of all, and then we all worked well for you guys. And that's why it was an amazing time. It was an amazing time. It's very rare that you'll see, band programs, first of all, that they staff get along, less enough to have the insight and fortitude to be innovative, I guess I could say that for lack of a better word, and bringing new things and concepts in, being respectful, and then just presenting it all. You had Mr. Bethea with percussion. We had everything covered. Every facet was covered, and it was a wonderful thing. You all got that was high time then. But now, and if we didn't have social media as big as we do now, now if we had YouTube, Facebook, Instagram back then, baby, you talk about Hollywood, but you all did well because Honda was big then.
Yeah, you ain't lying. And I can say this even now, there is not one clear video of the Honda performance in 2007. Just imagine if we had the technology that we had back then. So,
Miss Stephanie, as a person who was on the other side, well, I was actually behind the Georgia Dome, and we had to go on after y'all. Let me just say, that was the first time I was like, damn, I think I joined the wrong band. Because everybody, I'm boxing the Storm. We was back there. We was like, who is these people with these supersonic colors on? Like, why are they so angry? Like, what did they got to prove? Man, like everybody was back there. I don't care which school. You can say what you want. And if they say that they didn't have a inch of like little intimidation, they lying. Trust me, they lying. Because we was back there. We was like, look how mean they look. They was like, they glazing over there. Like, what are they doing? Like, and then we had to go on after. I was like, golly, come on, y'all. We got to make this feature a little bit better because it was crazy. If you would have heard some of the comments, everybody had to swallow like, y'all know folks just went. That's how it was in the back for that performance. Trust me.
Well, I tell you this. Y'all were possessed when we went on that field. And I was like, it was so crazy because everything was such in sync. And then as soon as we got in that tunnel, after everything was over, everybody just went crazy at the end because all of that energy was just exerted, One thing that I love about Norfolk, too, it's always the hidden factor about things because they don't know, and even in this day and time, they've seen things. The biggest thing that I love is that, we've done the Rose Bowl Parade, we've done Queen City, we did the National Battle of the Bands, and that has given us a little bit more exposure with things. But we've been doing, we've been doing it and doing it well for years. It just it's just the exposure, and plus our team wasn't all that. At that time, Lord Jesus, if we could get the fight song in, it was at the beginning of the game. Dun, 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 dun. That's it. You get behold at the end. Doo 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 doo. That's it.
So what was your experience? And I guess, and I'm guessing I'm looking at it from the perspective of now. What was your experience at Jackson? And then what was your introduction to jazz? Because we're going to definitely talk about this whole jazz thing because I was a part of your jazz band and many accolades during my time. And then the more recent accolades. So what was your experience at Jackson? And then when did you start really getting into your jazz literature?
Good question. Well, we at back then the jazz ensemble was really big at that time. We used to play for the International Association of Jazz Educators. Is now it's what is it called now? Jazz Educators Network. Now it's changed names, but we were big with that. That's how you learned a lot of literature, going and being exposed. It was beautiful to open up for the Count Basie band twice, and then when I moved up here, to know that Frank Foster lived in Chesapeake, and to have him come. Oh, he said, I just needed a meal. I'm going to teach the kids for 10 days. I said, shoot, is that all that, just to have that exposure and to be around people. And then also, you had your classmates, they challenge each other. Come on, let's go listen to so-and-so. Let's play this. Now you got the damn books that are transcribed. We didn't have no transcribed, but we had to get that old record, cassette. We had no DVD and CDs, to write the stuff down. And that's why we were exposed to that. When I got to grad school, my band director really started, as far as the education realm, on knowing, especially if I'm going to start teaching, what facets and areas of jazz, and especially for the grade levels, and then also just exposing of the literature. Because back then, while I was teaching public school, I had to write. We wrote for new music. Now you get the commentator in the background, telling you what the school. We used to write for IAJE. We used to write for new music. I used to write we would listen to the songs or have the kids play it. Okay, this is a song, grade 5 for so and so, da 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 da. It evolves. It has a trumpet. So I had to write all of that. So that opened me up too. Now, as far as that Latin jazz is concerned, baby, that was MacArthur High School, and that was Jose Diaz, honey. He got me in. I worked at a Hispanic high school, y'all, and I didn't know. I took French in high school and college, so that was the worst thing to do. So I had parents from Nicaragua and everything. I had to get interpreters and all of that stuff. But as far as the music is concerned, baby, we were on it, and that was the biggest thing as far as the Latin influence is concerned.
You love your Latin music.
Oh, baby, still close a concert with one. I was a Latin dancer in my former life. I tell y'all that. Don't let this don't let this fool you, because it's a skinny dancer inside, baby.
Me and Rick talk about that all the time. We always say it don't matter what concert we did, it don't matter now, back then, you always gonna hear a song that go do 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 do. We say it every single time. Without fail, she is going to have a Latin piece, at least one, maybe two somewhere in there. I'm telling you. You go back and listen to every single one, and it's somewhere in there. So she's gonna have it. Anybody, any other questions before I go to my next question? Because I do got one. Is Portia talking? It's me.
Say nothing but the devil.
No, don't blame the devil. Don't blame. Oh, I remember what happened. She went out, and then something happened with her screen, and she popped out. So I guess she has to pop back in.
Well, I got a question until Portia come back. So for a person like myself, Miss Sanders, that's aspiring to be at the collegiate level, what is some advice would you give me?
I'm not just kidding. No, if you were, I'm saying run, but I was being funny. But the biggest thing is that if you want to do it, you got to know the literature. Now, that's one thing that I can't stand. People come to the college realm and they only know the world from their band director. They were never exposed. So just like if you went to Hampton, I use for example, you only know the life of Hampton. You haven't exposed yourself to other schools, other types of music, other ways of thinking and teaching, and knowing the literature. If you're going to get up there, of course you got to have 3 to 5 years of band experience, of teaching public school, because they want to know, can you teach? Because I got some colleagues that I wish could just perform or retire or some other things of that nature. But it's not their calling. It's not their ministry. That's what the kids say. It's not their ministry. So I would say that, and just have the eagerness to roll your sleeves up. Depends on if you want to go to a PWI or if you want to go to a HBCU. Being a graduate of a HBCU, we have certain, things that we have to deal with that only us as a people know how to deal with. Going to a PDI is a different situation. Sometimes you may get lucky at both. I've really been blessed everywhere I've been, and it's been a better situation as we've come. And if you're ready to roll your sleeves up and work, baby, just do it. Just do it. Just think about your first year of teaching. You were nervous as hell that first year. It was kind of nervous to do the full thing my first year, like when I did at Alcorn. Yeah, I knew because I taught school, so I knew I could teach. But teaching on a college level, because at first teaching in another state, I don't know the culture. I didn't know the culture of Mississippi. I mean, we're going to school there is one thing, but living there is another. See, like at least with Prairie View, you got Houston. You can get out of town and go to Houston. Where we gonna go? We got to go to Jackson. Okay, Jackson is an hour and a half away. Okay, and Jackson ain't like Houston. I'm just using the comparison of the cities. So you have to, make it worth your while wherever you want to go, and then just see how the kids are. If you want to touch into it. Start doing those interviews, whether you want them or not, just to see what the culture is, see what's out there, and then also see how you fit out there. Are you ready? You can see by your interview, you know what, maybe I need another year or two, under my belt to get ready to do whatever.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just do it, baby.
Can I ask my question? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hey, Miss Sanders. So I think my question is, especially from being on the inside now, and you've been doing this way longer than me, what inspires you, or what keeps you motivated to keep going and to keep dealing with the good? There's a lot of good, but there's some ugly too. So what, advice or what kind of keeps you going in that?
I always say prayer and vitamins, okay? That's what I really say. But I'm not going to lie. I'll use you for example. I remember you when you were on that flag line, you were giving those girls hell. But I saw the potential in you on being a great leader. I knew it was going to take time for you to shape and mold and to mature to the fine woman that you are now. You bridled your tongue a little bit over the years. That's with experience. And that comes with time as well, too. But to see you all doing your thing. Folks married, folks got children, folks living their lives, folks adventuresome, doing different things. They're teaching them, they're doing innovative stuff that I could just fathom and think about that you all are doing now that was just an inkling in my mind, but you all are doing it. And then it's just nice. It's just nice to see you all grow and doing your best. And that's what inspires me. I tell everybody, I like getting up, coming to work every day. I don't like the stressors. Sometimes it's the students. Sometimes it's the administration. Sometimes it's my colleagues. Sometimes it's myself. You know how you can put in your brain about things going on, and then at the end of the day, it's me. I'm the one that has the negative attitude, or I'm the one that needs to get out of this perception of doing things. And so that's what inspires me every day. And I love it. Now, I'm tired as hell when I go home. But as far as giving my energy every day, I give it all. And I love it. I love my job. I've loved every job. I've loved all my students, my good ones and my bad ones. So it's just been, that's my inspiration, Portia. You have to have a passion. I don't care what field, it doesn't have to be music. Because COVID has proven that to a fact. A lot of people that I know that have gone to technology because that was the only thing we had, and sometimes in entirely different fields. Go where your passion is. And if you're excited about it, do it. And if you don't like it, stop complaining. I don't like people who complain all the damn time. And I've complained for the last 23 years I've been here, but damn it, I do something about it, and I love it. If you can't do anything about it, stop staying in your job and being a negative Nancy. Go somewhere else. We don't want you here. So that's the kind of attitude that you have to have, and to be successful. That, and you do pray, because I do pray, because sometimes people have been moved. You say, move me or move the mountain. Oh, they have been moved. Pray that I get through this situation, because I swear I'm going to choke someone. So, student and or colleague. Oh, but the Lord has moved it. I'm going to become a preacher, y'all, that's my next venture. Y'all going to come to my church?
I will.
I had the baddest orchestra in the church. I have dancers and flags and everything in church.
That's a shirt, by the way. Move me or move the mountain. That's a shirt.
I know that's
Green
right.
and gold.
I got you. You say cue the organ. Somebody say the doors of the church are open. Dun-dun. I need a tambourine now. It's locked up next door, so we can't have church.
Sorry. So what do you feel like you have run into? I don't know what that was. I'm gonna just move past that. Do you feel like you have run into any obstacles during your career? And if you have, what have they been?
Some of my obstacles have been trying to have a vision, not only for the band program, but for myself. Sometimes thinking that, can I go any further? Can I give any more? That's pretty much been my problem. Of course, money, we don't have the budget. We need the budget, to make things run like we should. That's a normal stumbling block for everybody. So that's not, that's a normal thing. But as far as myself, that's pretty much it for me, And has it been nights I've cried? Oh yeah. Have people treated me wrong, or people that you thought were your friends or your colleagues be the main ones stabbing your back, or you think that folks always have your best interests at heart? Oh no, they want your job. I've even had people say, oh, I really wanted your position, but you ain't get it, so shut up. But if you're gonna do something about it, and then at the end of the day, I prayed on it. I really did pray on it. That's the only stumbling blocks I really have had, Julian, since I've been here. You and I have, about different situations, but I just prayed on it, and things just happened. I'm not trying to get religious on y'all and do the church run around the room thing again, but as far as praying on it, I had to leave it on the altar. Because at this point, I couldn't do any more. You know how you try to be the one to fix things, and it wasn't for me to fix. It wasn't for me to fix. I just do my job. I do my job. I think I do my job well. I don't do it for the accolades. I do it for me, because I feel good. Because at the end of the day, my head and my heart are in the right places of what I've done to teach these students and to make myself happy. Hell, that's why you think I play all the time. This is my job, but I love to play. I play my bassoon with the symphony tomorrow. Just had a concert Sunday. I play with Rod Jazz, got to play with him for the mayor on Thursday. You see what I'm saying? Things just happen. And that's my safe haven. And this is the thing for all of you all too. Whatever makes you happy outside your job, leave your job at your job. See, when you start bringing your job home, that's when the problems start. They've entered your headspace. You don't need that. Because when you go home, that's your safe haven. You should do whatever and everything you want, with whom and everybody you want to do it with. And you should, some people don't know how to separate the two. But for you personally, you should do that for yourself.
Amen.
I believe in that. For me, performing is my safe haven. I love it. That's why I like to do it. But I like teaching too.
Did you ever at any moment feel like something you were doing was wrong, or doubting yourself, or doubting some instruction that you may have given?
Yes. Sometimes to the point where if you think that you're not getting your point across to the students, or sometimes I don't know, getting frustrated, because it's like I'm giving my all. But I learned this. I'm gonna tell y'all this too. This is another secret. This is another gem to give you. My mother gave this to me because she's been in higher ed for 38 years. Stop giving your maximum if they can't come to you with the minimum. If they can't come to you with the urgency and the heart, and I'm talking about on any level, if they're not coming with the desire of what they want to do, why you give your all for them to either throw you under the bus, don't give a damn about you and or your profession, even though they're trying to be like you. But if they're not coming to you with the maximum, you stop giving it to them. They don't come to class and they ain't practice. Why waste my time? You know me, Julian, you know that. If you ain't come and you haven't practiced for your lesson, stop wasting my damn hour. Hell, I can practice my damn self. I practice early in the morning, so because when I go to bed, I am out. But you can't tell me I haven't given my full day. Carpe diem, baby. I plan my day every day. But you stop giving your maximum. Because that's what leads out to burnout. Now, ask me, have I had burnout? Oh, hell yeah. That's when you have times and you have those thoughts, well, maybe I need to get the hell out of here, and go somewhere or do something different, And, it's come down and says, no, you got to stay a little longer here. I got a plan for you for this, And you never know how your life transforms, or things just open up, or people just, act different, or you never know with anything. So, but as far as these students are concerned, baby, and COVID proved me when we came back in the classroom, baby, that was the hardest transition, to come back from COVID back in that classroom, and the mental stability of these kids, and also the attention span of these kids. And I'm talking, this is college now. We ain't talking about high school, middle school, or elementary. We talking college folks. They don't know how to communicate. They not social. I had a problem with that. So if you can't come with the desire, you talking about you want to be a music major, and then you don't want to learn history. Hell, we all had to learn history. I didn't like it, but we had to learn it. But that helps you when you learn it and you start teaching this music and this literature to these students during symphonic band season. Hell, you don't like theory, but you're gonna be an arranger and write rhythms for a band, and you don't know that. You can't write the damn rhythm out.
Amen.
So if they're not coming with you with it, don't waste your time. Because I still do that. You have to earn my time. Because if we were at a PWI, I could select whether or not I wanted to have you in my studio. See, one thing about an HBCU, we take you from whence you've come, and we take you. And when you leave, you should be proud of who you are and whose you are. So when you get out in the real world, that you can be able to interact and be able to know how to decipher things to make it successful and advantageous for yourself. But when you go up and you just a number, other places, you just student 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn that paper in again. Do this over again. Practice this again. Let's go. This is the 10th time. Let's do this right. This music is not right. Y'all know y'all ain't got this shit together. Let's do this again. You know, y'all know how it goes with rehearsal, and that's what it is. But you got to do it for yourself. You can't, look, burnt out is real in anybody's job. But with, as far as these students are in education, if they not coming to you with the minimum, you stop giving your maximum. Because I swear, if that was the case, I would have been burnt out about 10 years ago, honestly.
You heard what I said.
You're so crazy.
I think my question is, because we were all a part of Julie and I were part of that dream team era. So I always wondered, like, when everything happened that it did and left standing are Mr. Bethea and you. What is going through your mind? Like, what was that process like? What was that conversation like? Because in my mind, and I can't speak for anybody else, like, I'm super grateful for how you all have saved the program, like from where it was to now. You know, that's at you two at the helm of this thing. So what was that like, you know, going through that, from having your own area, being responsible for what wins, all of these crazy things happen, and boom, there were two. What was that like?
It was hard. It was very hard. It was very strenuous, you know, to go down from 5, then there was 5, then there was 4, then there was 3. Now, y'all don't know, we ain't replaced nobody. These just the numbers going down. 5, 4, 3. I thought it was gonna be 3 for a while. 3 became 2. But I told Mr. Bethea I would not leave you in a situation like that. I would never do that, because I wouldn't want anybody to leave me in a situation, especially being by yourself. And this was a tumultuous time. I hate to say that, because a lot of people didn't know, which you should know, certain the ins and outs of why things happen, but they did happen. Okay. And as far as saving a program, it should be saved. These kids were worth it. You know, things just happen. And like I said, I know one person can't be by themselves, because that's a heart attack waiting to happen. Now, I'm just going to put it out there stress-wise. Now, luckily, you know, like now, we are blessed to have you all, and even with everybody, to have a band staff of folks to help you, because we can't do it all. We can't do it all. And to entrust your staff to assist you with things, you know. But was it hard? Portia, it was hard as hell. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, it was a point that I was like, deuces too. But you know what? You know, like I said, I prayed on it, and I said, you know what? No, I can't leave William like that. You know, and hell, things just started getting better. We got a little bit more efficient on doing things, you know. And when you work down, look, I can't be stressed out, especially when it's 2 of us. We can't be stressed. And we just been blessed to have a good staff that we work with, you know, to help get things done. And thank God y'all were all under us, except for a couple people. So y'all know how we work. You know, and that's a good thing too. When you get a staff, even if you didn't have people that didn't work, that have not been under your tutelage, as long as you got a band staff of folks who are like-minded, that's when you can get stuff done. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was at Alcorn, we had 325 band. It was only 2 of us then too. I call it the S&S production, the Sam and Steph. It was Sam and Steph. That was it. You know, but we got it done. I did music. Sam did the charting. Hey. That's a great combination, you know, and we worked it out.
Okay. A lot of people see you. Well, I'll say it a different way. When I talk to a lot of people are like, man, I've heard about her. She's dope. She's great. She's this. Do you feel that same way? Do you feel that same energy coming from other people? Do you feel like you've made as many accomplishments as people have heard about you?
I still get people that say, I've heard of you and this, that, and the other. You got to remember, and Juliet and Portia, I don't have to be out there in the forefront. I don't have to be out there. You got some band directors that out there that got to shake their ass and do this, that, and everything else so they can ha, I am the director of bands. This is my band. Ha. I ain't got to do all of that. Think about it. Even with jazz band. And I do that because I base that off of military. Hell, jazz band don't have nobody up in the front shaking. Now, I like to shake on the last tune. I love that with the Latin tune. But other than that, it's on y'all. I have done my job during the week. Saturday, them 12 minutes were for y'all. I marched 88 to 92. Those were my glory years. It's your time to shine. And so when you do your work, the proof is in the pudding with those kids. But yeah, I still get that, Julie, and people say, oh, I heard of you, or oh, I'm glad to get to meet you. It's different arenas. Like some people say, well, why don't you go to this conference or this? Most of the time I'm playing. I miss going to Midwest. Midwest is during Christmas time. Christmas is that's Nutcracker, and that's Messiah time. That's big money. I'm bassooned down. And then we ain't gonna talk about all the holiday parties. Everybody got a party. So I'm gonna play my saxophone and flute. I'm gonna be rocking. So just different things. Or why don't we see you in this? Well, sometimes, and I hate to say that and talk about our people sometimes, but our people wait to the last minute to get you to do stuff. I'm just sitting here like I'm sitting in the office now. I ain't got shit to do. And then you would talk, oh, I want to be this and I want to be. No, I'm not sitting up there waiting. I'm living my life. Now, if you want to ask, you ask like the other folks do sometimes in a sufficient amount of time, not at the last minute, and then they get mad. I am sensitive because I know how we work sometimes, and I'm giving my all to these folks, but I don't have to do that. And it's not this or this thing. It's just about, you should know about time and doing things, So that's a lot, and then just being on this end of the coast, of course people don't know because everybody stays in their particular bubbles. I can say that even coming up here. Hell, I didn't know about Norfolk State, ever. No, I'm just going to be honest with you, And then when I pulled up the information about it, I said, oh, they're East Coast USC. That's what I thought. I just thought I was just going to see all these faces. But then when I get on campus and I see all these pretty little faces, I was like, oh, hell, okay, all right, let me see what you're going. What you going to do? You going to do woodwinds. What? I love in this. I'm doing my thing with us's. And that's what, I can do jazz, man. I can do what the hell I want. What? Oh, okay. Oh, I got this.
All right. I know I have two more questions. I don't know if anybody else has any, but I know I do have two more. So my first of the two is, you have been in this game for a long time. I ain't gonna extend the long because I don't want to make you seem like you've been in that. I ain't trying to do that. But you've been in the game a long time. Have you seen a change and a shift in band and music education as it pertains to HBCUs? And if you have, what are the good things that you've seen, and what could you say are some of the bad things that you've seen?
Let's do bad going into good. The bad, this damn cranking ass is bothering me. Everybody just playing loud. That's just like everybody talking loud like this all the time. You can't do this all the time and talk to everybody loud because can't nobody be soft. So when somebody comes up being soft, it's like, what the hell is going on? Because everybody just Rah, 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 rah. Everybody just so loud. That bothers me. Okay. Second thing, to be musical. If we're a band, we do need to play some music. We need to play it up to par. The thing and the distinction about HBCU bands is that we can rock or march just as well as we can rock whatever latest tune is on the radio. That's the musicality. We lose a little bit of that. Then it's an ego situation. You know, this is the band. Da 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 da. You know, you sacrifice numbers and you sound like slaw. Why you got 500 folks in the band and y'all sounding like pea shooters? You know, all you can do is play loud. Next thing, if you're a marching band, why you can't march? If you talk about marching, I need you talk all of that mess about my band gonna do da 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 da. But then when you get on the field, you're looking like some damn marbles I done threw out on the field because you ain't giving me no formations, you know, esprit de corps. You're not giving me full pageantry. Oh, what is it? The birds? Is that the birds? What's that?
It's cricket.
Oh, it's crickets. Oh, y'all are so funny. I didn't know what that was. I said, oh Lord. Okay, that's the bad, you know, and folks not making, you know, thinking wise choices for their students, for their futures, you know. But the good in it, I love the creativity of it all. I'm loving that we've changed, even though I know SWAC has gotten so big now, you know, SWAC North, SWAC South, and all of this stuff, you know. I know people complaining about, you know, like FAM and A&T and, you know, different people moving to different conferences and things. That happens, that's more on the athletic end, it's not on the band end. But I love that different bands are being shown, you know. The great thing of it is that you got technology. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have, you know, Facebook and Instagram where you can, millions of people are watching your show. You know, I'm going to be very honest. You know, we've been exposed with some good years with Hondas, with Mardi Gras and different things. But hell, when we did that Rose Bowl parade, the world saw the Rose Bowl parade. I don't care what color you were. On New Year's Day, you saw us marching right up in there. You know, I love how that is. And I actually love how now that we can, as bands, we can be able to communicate and do, you know, things together. Because I remember back in the day, never the band shall meet. It was true rivalry, which it shouldn't be like that. You know, because when you meet people, you never know what connection you will have. You'll never know. You know, who would have ever thought, as much as I talked about Alcorn, that I was going to end up working at Alcorn? You know, I'm teaching public school. I never thought about going up to Prairie View. You know what I mean? And that was a wonderful time. Lord enough, packing up my stuff from Mississippi to go all the way to Norfolk, Virginia, you know, that's a wonderful thing. And then also just to have you all connecting with each other. You got your groups and different things. And a lot of associations have been developed. You know, I like the newest thing that I've seen is what the dancers and the flags have, the new organization. I love that. We didn't have that. Because first of all, a lot of HBCU schools still don't want to have flags. I have a problem with that. And there's nothing wrong with the dancers, but they don't utilize the dancers how they should. You know, and it doesn't have to always be ha ha wah 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 wah. They can do other stuff too, you know. So that's the wonderful good things that I see, you know, with the band programs now, and I always look forward, and it's the love of other bands too. You know, some people say, you know, of course, I love the Sonic Boom of the South. I've always been, you know, 88 to 92, baby. But, you know, I love another school. And we'll give respect and give credit if a school is doing well. You know, I don't know if you all just seen FAMU just play at the American Band Association. The national, they rocked that sucker. They rocked it. You know, and just like what people see with us doing the Rose Bowl, how many black folks do you see as far as black college band? That's why I look forward to seeing A&T doing it next year. You know, they got some shoes to fill, but they gonna do it. You know, they're going to do their thing. You know, we can say the same thing. Tennessee State was before us. Hell, Tennessee State got a Grammy. When we talking about bands getting Grammys, you know, having collaborations with other people to get stuff, you know, and to win the Grammy. That's what I loved about it, you know. And it wasn't a thing about, oh, they got, I hate when people get so nasty. Oh, they got that Grammy. No, people deserve, give folks their flowers. And the thing about it is that, hell, if you got an idea, then give it to your band director. And if you are the band director, you need to expand your horizons on different stuff. Try different stuff. And if you're not willing to do that and you stay in this little box that you're going to always be in, your band ain't never going to go nowhere. It's good to have traditions. Now, I'm not saying to knock traditions, because you still have to have those standard traditions of the particular school, especially if you're going to go, like you were talking about, you want to go, if you're thinking about doing the college thing, yeah, you never know, because you never knock another program, because you never know if you're going to end up being with that program. Learn the history about it, but then you can improve. You know, I look at Jackson. Oh, we came to play, but we never thought dun 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 dun. That first year, I said, where the hell they coming with that? But they rocked it. They rocked it. You know, Tiger Runner gonna be there. We'll be dead and gone, and the Tiger Runner gonna still be there. You know, just little things, making a JSU on the field. You know, all of those. You know, those are some traditional things. You know, maybe blowing if it still be there. You know, shout out to Carrie. Carrie Jackson, who wrote it. Like somebody said, Aggie Pride, yeah, you know, support your school. I don't like when people say, oh, you know, they not doing, or in my era, in my day, we did. Hey, everybody's era was good when they thought it was in school. But if you're not gonna support the, and Portia knows I say this all the time. You give your time, your service, and your money. And if you can't give any of those three, do not come near the band program. I don't need this. It's already enough dealing with 200 and some kids and dealing with a staff of 20 something. I don't need you. If you're not going to give your time, service, or your money and as a student, when you get out of school, you know you ain't got no money. You got a little bit of time. And you can give your service. When you start working and making some ducats and some coins, then you can start giving your money. But then I also say, too, you need to graduate. Now, that's another subject for another day, too. I don't like when most folk talk more noise. Your degree is in... Okay. Continuing ed, that's what it is.
All right, she said a mouthful there. A whole bunch of lessons that we could all take. You know, my gosh. Does anybody else have another question before I ask this last question? Want to make sure, Portia, you good? Quan, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So, Ms. Sanders, I want you to kind of tell us about the most recent situation that you had with the jazz band in Winton, and how did that come about? What was the feeling that you had when you found out that you had gotten the opportunity to be able to go to the next level? Just run that whole thing down for us. What was that like?
Actually, about a year ago, I was approached from the Virginia Arts Festival about an idea, and you know I've talked about this, about doing a HBCU jazz festival here at the school. I'm still thinking about doing that alumni thing. Not this year. I need a year of preparation to get that together. So I'm gonna have that. So get them chops ready. They approached me about formulating something like that. And I said, that would be great, because I said, for years I've gone to other people's festivals, but I don't go to festivals of people looking like me. And one thing that I loved about this whole situation, it was that it was constructive criticism. You know how sometimes you go to contests, you need to do this, you need to do this, but okay, if we need to do this, you help or you say what needs to be done. You know, everybody don't need to spew negativity. It's enough they get enough flack from us as directors. You know, if you going somewhere, you know, you trying to put your best foot forward. So when Winton got with the Virginia Arts Festival, and so they started asking the HBCUs to come, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be a part of that. You know, I'm always for that. And what we did was, it was 8 bands, no, 1, 2, 3, 6 bands that competed. And the top 2 seats got to open up for Winton. Boy, baby, you know, we were working hard just to do that. And I always tell the students, you always go to win. You don't go with your tail between your legs. You always go to win. And if we had lost, it was because somebody has done better than us, and they put their best foot forward. You know, but you can't say you haven't come with your A game, because there's always people that's better than you, and there's sure people that's worse than you. I saw that for sure. And but you know, you come with your A game. And so, and and Julian and Portia know, I'm honest with you. I don't lie to you. I don't sugarcoat anything with you. And I told the kids, I said, look, okay, our competition so far is gonna be Benedict. Benedict got a program as far as the jazz band is concerned. They got a program. And I said, that's gonna be our biggest competition. Then Grambling played. Grambling did really well as well too. And but when we got to the end, they said, no, our boredom kids they went crazy. And I said, you know how the Chrysler Hall is? I said, just imagine, every seat is gonna be filled. You can't get nervous on me now. You got to play just like you played for those judges at the beginning. You playing for a full house. And I said, you gonna steal their house if you do it. And baby, they rose to the occasion. I can't say nothing bad about the entire incident ever. They showed their behinds off. And that's what they should do, you know. And it was a great time. Well, Jillian, you could say the same thing when we were going to Villanova. Because, see, years ago when I first got here, we were going to the University of North Carolina in Wilmington to their jazz festivals. But, see, I'm going to be like this. When you outgrow something, that's when it's time for you to expose yourself to something new and something bigger and better. We kept winning at UNCW. I'm like, we kicking a dead horse. I ain't going here no more. That's when we started going to Villanova. Then we kept winning ever. We need to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? You keep winning and winning and winning. But I mean, it was good exposure and a good time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But how are you going to grow if you don't challenge yourself? Now, that's one thing I can't stand what band directors don't do. They don't challenge themselves. They don't get knowledge. They don't get this new technology. They limit themselves. When you do that, you're not going to grow. Your kids not going to grow. They're going to be limited just like you. That's my word, limited. Not a limited edition, but limited. They're not going to be successful in doing things. But that was a wonderful experience, Julian. Winton was awesome. Everybody was awesome. And what the thing was is when we won, we got to pick which person in the orchestra, you know, to play with. And at first I thought they were going to say, we won't win, you know, to play with us. But Paul Nedzula helped us and coached us during the day. And so the kids were like, no, we won't, Paul. And it was great. It was great, you know. But the criticism, I actually printed it out today and showed the kids today what the criticism was. It was good stuff. And one thing I love about it, they reinforced everything that I've been doing. So I know I'm doing my job. When you got the greatest telling the same thing that I'm telling you, I'm doing my job. They just got to step up and do it. And they did.
Yeah, I will say, because my freshman year, I wasn't in the jazz band. I didn't get into the jazz band until I came back from Ankle Gate. But yeah, Quan, you don't know about that. Portia, you don't know about that. Yeah, that was just during our time. But no, that was when I got into the jazz band, and that was my first year going to Villanova. And I remember that first year I went was the year that we got top trumpet section, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then we came back. It's up. She had like 15 million flags in her office right now. What year was that? Was it 02, 03?
03. 03.
Yep.
03.
That was the year.
I had to look.
That was the year I came back. And so I remember that, and I remember going the next year, and so on and so forth. And it was an experience every time. But I just remember because at first we didn't have 7 a.m. rehearsals. We switched to 7 a.m. rehearsals because you got tired of all of us either showing up late or not showing up at all. So you said, hey, you're going to get your butt up in the morning and we're going to get this done, and we're going to get this done right in the morning. So that way you ain't got no other excuse. Ain't no class in the way, ain't no work in the way, ain't nothing else. So we're going to get these 7 a.m.s. And I tell you, I had to drag my tail up out of bed every morning. It was every Tuesday, Thursday, to get to that rehearsal. It was tragic when I was online. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But she's absolutely right. She's very meticulous on how she puts together her music, how she gets her shaping and all of that. That's what she does. Like even with the marching band, that's what she does. And you know, when Rick was on the show, Rick has said it multiple times. I know I've said it multiple times. Mr. Adams would write the music, and he would write one heck of a tune. But Miss Sanders would come in and would shape that thing. The sounds that you get from the Legion are a culmination of great writing, but great teaching. Specifically from Miss Sanders when she goes in there and she shapes that music. And I have always been appreciative of everything that I've learned when I was in that room, so much so that every student that I've had knows what the word flackatoo is. If you don't know what flackatoo is, you weren't taught by Miss Sanders. I'm telling you.
Flackata and your music being seasonless. If you don't put seasoning on your chicken and your fish, same thing with music. If you can't give it and shape it and mold it and give me some accents and some phrasing, it's gonna be seasonless. That's what it's about.
And that's what she's been saying for years, and it has not changed. That's what she does. You know, I definitely want to say I appreciate you, Miss Sanders, for coming into Willow Ridge Band Hall and getting me. And actually, it wasn't just me. It was, I don't know if you remember Zachariah Johnson. It was me and him. And Zach, he left after the first year. But and you've gotten so many others from out of Houston. But I appreciate you because of the chance to be able to get away from Texas, away from the South, or you know what we know as the South, because apparently Virginia's still the South, but I don't really classify it as the South. But yeah, it ain't South. But no, just giving me the opportunity to get a different experience, and that was what I always wanted. And every time I saw you, hey, it's my homeboy, you know. So that always made me feel good because it made me feel like I was still connected to somebody from home. You know, going so far away was really difficult for me my first year, at least, because I didn't have nobody. So just knowing that you were there, if I did need to come and talk to you or get cussed out by you, you were definitely there for us. So I definitely appreciate you for that. But for, you know, just being able to touch all the students that you've been able to touch through the years, and your story, which is super awesome. And that's why I think it is important that we give you your flowers and we give you your accolades right now, because you have done a lot and you have traversed a lot and you have seen a lot and you have been through this thing for a long time. And we talk about the greats all the time. We do. But the problem is that I don't think that we speak about certain people enough. And I think that you are one of those people. And I don't know if it's because you just kind of sit back and you do your thing, and like you said, you let your work speak for itself. I don't know if it's because you're a woman in the game. I don't know what it is, but I really believe that you should get the accolades more than what you have. And so I felt like it was necessary to have this show today. So before we get out of here and we get ready to close out, is there anything that you would like to say, anything that you would like to put on our hearts, or anybody who's watching heart? This is your time, Miss Sanders, to shine and let it all go.
I am just, first of all, I'm happy that you all invited me, because I watch you guys. Sometimes I laugh and kiki. Every now and then I put my little comment in, because I love what you guys are doing. Because it's almost like really talking raw about band. People don't want to talk about the backhand things. They just see the wonderful, glorious things that are going on, but they don't want to talk about the real subjects at hand. And I love what you guys are doing. I love the freshness of each one of you and what you all contribute and bring to the program. I want to give a shout out to all my students. Lord Jesus, y'all all owe me $50. But anyway, because I told you, when you graduate and you get your first job, y'all owe me $50. So I should be rich about right now. But I love seeing you all in your becoming a great music educator, great dance coordinator, great flag coordinator, great band director. I love seeing you, how you have grown from being that kid that I wish I could have choked when you was in school, to now respecting you. Hell, some of you could be my boss. You know what I mean? And I just love how things have just overcome. I love all my students everywhere I've gone, and it's been a blessing. And I look forward to the years. I ain't talking about this, these my glory years of this, that, and the other. I appreciate that, Julia, because sometimes I do feel, okay, am I worthy? We all think that. And I'm the kind of person, you give me my flowers, don't give it to me like you say when we did. We just had the passing of Emory Fears. Now, of course, he was an icon in himself. And I'm going to tell you a story about that before we go. I know it's quick. When I was in school, we read about Emory Fears. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know he was black. I said, oh, this white man is doing great things. And then when I get up here, and he said, no, this is Emory Fears. I said, huh? I said, are you serious? And look, Emory Fears and I were been like this, Before he passed, we go eat lunch once a month. All the old band directors get together and we would eat lunch, tell stories. They just want to be nosy sometimes. What the band doing? Just different things. And it's been a wonderful experience. Emory Fears would just show up in my office. I'm like, well, what you doing up here, Mr. Fears? Hell, I'm not too old to learn anything. I said, oh man, because he was a great saxophonist. I don't know if y'all knew that. He played the hell out of that saxophone. And he was just a blessing. And and the thing about it is, and I tell you this and leave words with you, is that of course, I'm religious, so you got to pray, leave it on the altar on everything that you think about in your daily actions, and write your short-term and your long-term goals. I got a piece of paper on the side of my refrigerator on things I want to accomplish. Some things I still have left uncrossed, but that still gives me the inkling about what I want to do with myself in life. And it's not about an age thing. It's about what you want to do for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, what have you accomplished, and who have you encountered, encouraged, supported, nurtured, and that's the thing that makes me, that's what ignites me every day. Am I tired as hell? Oh yes, I am so tired. But that's the life that I chose. I tell the kids all the time, I pick my poison. I pick this poison of music, and I love it. But I love seeing you guys, and I love my field. I love what I do. I like music. I like music ed. I like performing. I like the music media thing. Everything is just culminating, and then it just makes me happy at the end of the day. And I just encourage everybody, if something that you're aspiring to do, hey, you gotta get out your box. Take a chance, you know, and then always take that chance, because I would hate for you to say years later, I wish I would have done so and so. I wish I would have tried. I wish I would have applied for so and so. I wish I would have performed for so and so. I wish I could have just said so and so and so and so. I remember a story, and I tell you one last thing. I was playing a gig, playing a wedding, and I got to meet Dr. Billy Taylor. If you don't know who Billy Taylor is, jazz pianist extraordinaire. He came up to me, and I'm like, I know this ain't Billy Taylor at the wedding. You know, we straight R&B in it, you know. And he says, oh, I hear what you're doing. I know this is an R&B gig, but I know what you're doing. Stephanie, I need for you to come on up and work with the women in jazz. You know what I did? I hee-hawed. I waited. You know, that man passed. Still, that's my one regret in life. He told me what I needed to do, and I didn't step out and do it. So when people tell you stuff, or you get that inkling from above about doing stuff, always go with your first mind. Do it then. Because later on in life, you don't ever want to say, I wish I would have done this. You know? And one thing I say, other than that, that's probably about the only regret I got in life. Other than that, I'm happy with every damn thing I've done. And I'm sure about to do a whole lot more, because 2023 is all for me. Me. It's for me.
Well, I just want to say thank you to my Soror of Tau Beta Sigma and Alpha Kappa Alpha, and my frat brother of KK Psi. So I gotta tell y'all this. Miss Sanders will be the first one after you cross that will tell you you better protect your jacket, because I'm taking it. And Michael Cofield, she took Michael Cofield's jacket, and I still have the picture. She took that man's jacket and took a picture. I still got it. So yeah, protect Yanelia. But no, I just want to say thank you to Miss Sanders. I appreciate you. You are so amazing. You are awesome. I know every time we see you, my kids are older, but you love up on them like you just met them for the first time every single time. You know, and just thank you for being a light in my family. But for the most part, just thank you for being a light in this music education space. And I thank you for coming on. This has been super dope and super great. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Stephanie Sanders, let me do the claps. There we go. Yeah. All right, Miss Sanders, it has been a pleasure. We are going to get ready to close out, and I ain't gonna text you tonight because it's late now, but I text. Yeah, you're gonna be asleep, but I'll text you tomorrow. All right. What? I'm sorry, my phone went off. What did you say, Miss Sanders?
I said, all right. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, that was Camille texting. All right, Miss Sanders, we'll see you.
All right. Good to see all of y'all. Good to see you. I can't wait to see you in the flesh.
At Consortium, you'll see us.
Oh, okay. All right.
There you go.
Sound good to me.
Bye, Miss Sanders.
Bye-bye.
All right. This has been so great. This has been super dope. My heart is filled. I don't have any other words other than she's just super great and super dope. And I love me some Miss Sanders. You know, anytime I go to Virginia, I've got to see Miss Sanders. It has to happen. So, but she is definitely a GOAT, and we got to make sure that we continue to give her flowers in this game, man. So I wanted to make sure that we do that, and we need to continue to do that on the show, man, giving people their flowers who truly deserve it. All right. Let's get ready to get out of here. You know, I didn't want to bring anybody in. Justin, you late, man. But I didn't want to bring anybody in. I really wanted Miss Sanders to have the floor and we just be able to hear from her. So that's why I didn't put the link in the chat. So without that, moving forward, any final, I'm sorry, let me do it the right way. Maya, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
No, I'm just filled. I'm just happy, satisfied. That's just one of those things where you just got to shut up and listen. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't do too much, because there will be some things that will be said that will be necessary, whether you anticipate it or not. So I'm just happy to be able to be a part. I can go sleep happy now. That has redirected my day. Okay. Everything happens for a reason. There was a reason why earlier today was like it was, so that the end of my day can be like it is. All right. Thank you so much.
Look at that. Look at that. Just blessing people. Look, that's what she does, man. Miss Sanders be doing that. Even if she cuss you out, she'll still be blessing you. I'm telling you. Portia, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
I just want to say, as somebody who had nothing to do with the music portion at Norfolk, she still poured into me. So it wasn't just limited. She is there for everybody. And so I'm just blessed to have been under her tutelage, but it's also awesome, like, working with her now. It is always a good time. She's still real, raw, and uncut. That's my Taurus sister. We're gonna be straightforward. We're gonna keep it, but it's all in love. And so I'm glad we were able to do this. I'm glad that she's still here in Norfolk. She's a gem. So we're gonna hold on to it as long as we can.
Absolutely. Quan, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture? Smiths, is your audio off again? Golly. Oh, okay, go ahead. We're gonna give him 1 second. Not like really 1 second, but we'll give him a little bit of time. But while we're waiting on him, man, I do want to say what's up to our new subscriber, Latoya Wadler. I don't know if y'all saw that come up on the screen, but yeah, so appreciate you for the subscription. Make sure you turn on the notifications, man. Anytime we're doing something, you will be able to be notified. All right. Maya, Portia, Tamar, we good? You did that quickly.
God gonna bless this voice. I'm hoping I'm gonna be.
You made it through today. I don't want to hear that. You good?
Yeah, but I don't. This ain't cute, and it don't feel good either. But I'm gonna try to work.
That's different. That's different. If it don't feel good, I get it. You can just type everything that you're gonna say on tomorrow's show. There you go. Quan,
test. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Good. Nah. I mean, everything what she said. I mean, like everybody says, has been blessed, but you could tell genuine people, bro. Like on the cool, you could tell genuine people. When she was talking, I didn't know if I should like put my hands up like this or touch the screen. I know, like real talk. After she finished talking, all I wanted to say was, "Now unto him who is able to keep me from falling and present myself faultless before the presence of the glory that exceeded joy, the only wise God, our Savior. Be glory, majesty, dominion, and power, both now and forever." You could hang up the phone. That's how I felt after she finished talking. Bro. Bless that woman, man, for real. Like she blessed my soul, bro, because what she said was real. All of them moments when you be like, bro, am I doing a good job? You know what I'm saying? Questioning yourself, stepping out on faith, being careful. What she said was real. How to not burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real. So I know, all of us aspire to a degree for another level of something. Me and you, Julie, and we aspire to be at the college level. And that woman did it. She said 4 years after high school. I mean, after teaching high school and been doing it this long at this type of caliber level, man, that's what you aspire to be. So I'll be putting some applications in.
Like I said before, man, Miss Sanders is a GOAT. She is a GOAT. And one of the things I don't even think that we got to specifically is HSPBA, and her time there as a student, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, she's not only been able to be an amazing educator, but you know, she's had the availability to be educated by some greats too, you know, and in some great spaces, and you know, and there's I you know, I could spend another 30 minutes just talking about how great, you know, she is and how much she has touched my life and how much she has touched so many people's lives around me. And anytime that I get with, you know, the Norfolk crew, we always got something good to say about Miss Sanders. We ain't never speaking nothing bad unless she cussing you out. You know, that was usually the conversation. If she cussed you out, that means she loved you. So I got stories for days. You know, I remember one time I took something up in the jazz band that I wasn't supposed to take up, and she cussed me out. I think it was Take the A Train. I don't remember. It may have been that. But you know, I just truly appreciate her, and she's definitely a light. You know, so I'm going to make sure that we continue to do these episodes like this because I think that they're necessary. But I do also want to say this: HBCU Band Directors Consortium. We will be there. I forgot the date that quick. Sorry, my bad. My brain went blank.
31st through 1st, right? March 31st through 1st.
The 29th is a Thursday, right?
March 30th. The 30th or the 2nd.
Yeah. Thank you. See, I got a lot going on, man. I'm sorry. I just got back from tonight. Has been crazy. We just put our sound in at the church, so we was running sound today. I was there with my son. I've been there all day. My brain has been going crazy, and the text messages, and y'all been texting me, and then I had to put my wife in there. Yeah, it's been a lot. But yeah, y'all know the dates. But we'll be there. HBCU Band Directors Consortium. We will be doing a live show there. So please, all of the people who watch, please make sure that you tune in for that. It's gonna be early, so I'm just letting you know now. It's gonna be early. But no, if you don't catch it, then you can always catch it on playback as well as this episode. So I know I did not put up the subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Once again, I wanted to give Miss Sanders the floor and let her do her thing and just talk. So please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. This episode will be up on all your podcasts and networks. Just type in Talk That Talk, except for on Apple Podcasts, where you can type in Real Talk That Talk. Don't ask me, did I record? Somebody asked me that earlier. I told you before, I have a backup to the backup. So no, I didn't record on this system because today this system is tripping. But don't worry, because I'm recording on this system. So I am good. You ain't got to worry about that. Stop asking me. Get out of my business. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, this has been a super dope episode. If you're watching this on playback, please go ahead and click that like button, man. Don't even wait on it. Also, if you're leaving out, when you leave out, click that like button as well, man. I have nothing else. This episode has been super, super dope, man. I will see you all. No, they'll see y'all tomorrow. They will. And then we will see you all on next week.